Welcome back to the catch up here on Cris Cyborg's YouTube channel. I am James Lynch. She is Cris Cyborg. Cris, how are you this afternoon? I know you had a pretty busy day today.
I'm great. I'm happy to be here and catch up and talk a little bit about the news and MMA, and I'm very excited.
Yes, and as we always do, a lot to talk about this week. But first, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button, and definitely share this episode if you guys are fans of the show every week. And girls, if you enjoy watching this show every week, I really appreciate the support and all the great feedback we get every single week. But we had a Bellator card last Thursday, Bellator 251. Corey Anderson, what a debut that was, getting his TKO victory over Melvin Manhoef. What'd you think of the fight? I thought Corey looked really good in his debut.
You know, his debut is very nice, and for fighting Melvin Manhoef is very impressive win. You know, second round and the takedown and they work a lot of ground and pound and the elbows and very violent. It's very impressive win, and I'm excited for him. You know, it's no easy fight straight. The first fight for Melvin Manhoef. You know, Manhoef is big name. I know he's 44 years older, but he's still very, very tough fighter and a very, very good talent.
Yes, Manhoef's a legend, and respect to him for taking the fight, and obviously yes. Great performance from Corey. By the way, I don't know if we have any pro wrestling fans out there. Corey Anderson coming out to the NWO theme song I thought was hilarious. Good on him. I thought that was really cool. Obviously coming over from the UFC, really enjoyed that. The other thing about this card that I thought really stood out, we have that Derek Anderson Achilles Mata fight. They actually used instant replay in this fight, not something you see too often in MMA. What did you think of that? Because I know it's really cool to see Bellator utilizing all their options.
You know, if you think about it, there's a lot of pressure to be referee. You know, when you're in the middle there in the fight, you have a lot of things you have to watch. And sometimes you can miss some stuff, you know. And I know when you're home, you can replay and then they put it for you when you're watching. Sometimes it happens and then put it, we can see what's happening. But the referee then able to do it. This is the first time they have the opportunity. I think it's very nice to use the technology for help. Because, you know, I'm a fighter. I know how it's bad if you want bad decision like this fight. Can be disqualification. And if you don't watch it, the replay, we cannot see, what's going on. And it's very nice. I think it's very important. And I think for sure the other referee is very happy. They can see the replay and they see what really happened. And for us, a fighter is nice. Sometimes you cannot miss doing some mistake to lose a fight because they didn't see what's happening. And it's very good and very nice then work on this.
Yeah, and I think it's just so important to utilize what you have available, right? Like, we all make mistakes. We're not all perfect. We all, have things that happen, and there's some great referees out there, but sometimes they miss things. So having the instant replay, I think, is a huge, thing to have in MMA, especially, like you said, with making sure they get the right call in the end. So I really enjoyed that on Bellator 251. Great card, another great card on Thursday nights. Really enjoying those. But a lot of news in your division, Cris, this week at 145. First, there was obviously Amanda Nunes not fighting Megan Anderson anymore. And then the other big news, Kayla Harrison now fighting in Invicta. What did you think of that? It's great to just see her get another fight because obviously PFL is kind of tying up her, they're not doing any shows right now. So for Kayla to go and get a fight, I think it's great, but she's fighting at 145, Cris. You must have got excited when you saw that.
It's very cool. I think it's better opportunity for her than 145 pounds, have more girls, I think. But another way too, I respect a lot of Kayla because she's really built the division 155. Mm-hmm. In the hours in the same interview, I don't agree about cutweight, but this is nice when she's fighting 155 because open the division and for the other girls fighting this division because, we don't have so much girls 155 because they didn't see a lot of opportunities. And like me in the beginning, 145. And I respect her, what she did doing for 155. But I understand, I think better opportunity for 145, and maybe because the PFL, 1 year cannot, sit down, she cannot fight, and for us, fight is nice to be acting and fight all the time. But I was making one day maybe we fight together, it's be cool. But I would like maybe fight 155 for you continue together build the division because I know can come good girls to 155 pounds. I believe, and probably she believes too. And this is just make the women's MMA growing more.
Yeah, and you kind of answered my question there because I think if you two were ever to fight, it would be cool for you to fight at your natural weights, right? Because I know you cut weight to 45. She obviously is cutting weight to 45. It would be cool to see you both fight at a 155 or something because, you're actually a featherweight. It's not like you're a bantamweight coming up, right? So I think that would be very interesting. But
yes, you can see the example about Claressa Shields. She fight 154, and I think she fought heavier than 154. And heavy girls she's fighting. why have girls? Because she opened that division, to start fighting the division. And the girls, okay, have this division, I can fight. And if in boxing they have this opportunity for women's MMA, Claressa is doing this, for sure the women's MMA can do the same thing.
And obviously, news came out this morning that obviously this is just sort of a one-off fight for Kayla. She'll go back to PFL after. She will not be signing with, a Bellator or UFC. But people were talking about you and her fighting because obviously she trains with Amanda Nunes. So, the possibility of her fighting her. But, how excited were you and how cool was it that people were talking about your division because of, Kayla? And how do you think a match with you and her would go? It'd be interesting.
No, it's the cross promotion now, Same thing PFL doing with Invicta, maybe Bellator can do with PFL, if you open this, and for sure it's going to be great, this is one thing to do is to make the fighter, the fans would like to watch, it'd be great.
Yeah, no, for sure. Have you fought like a judo specialist before? I was trying to remember. I know you were always linked to Rousey. That never happened, but...
in my career, no, I have a good grapplers, girls, but no from judo.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting to think about. Obviously, we also had a UFC event over the weekend. Glover Teixeira, man, another performance, by a fighter who shows that age is not a number. Incredible performance. I love this fight, Chris, because Thiago Santos had Glover hurt a number of times in this fight. Glover was able to persevere, come through, and get the submission on a guy in Thiago Santos who's very tough to finish. What did you think of his performance? Because I thought it was incredible.
I'm really excited to watch this fight too because, Glover, he's 41 years old. The same thing, Melvin, 44, but it's nice to see old school fighting. And he's in Brazil is like a rocky Brazilian for us. And it make me really happy. He's getting a lot of wins, 5 wins straight. I think he's deserved to fight for the belt, especially he's 41 years old. He's doing great. And you see, the only one who's lost to him having his career, if you Corey Anderson, but he's getting 5 wins straight, and I believe he deserves the belt. I know they didn't have the plan. They make Israel Desanya go the 185 to 205 to fight with the Poland guy in the place the John Jones. Yeah. But I believe the guy in the division, and he's getting the wins. I know it's so hard. You make 5 wins straight. And I believe he deserves to fight for the title. I want to say congratulations to him. The Brazilians all happy with his victory.
Yes, and I agree with you. I would love to see that fight with Glover and Jan Blachowicz. I know they're trying to build up the division. I know they're trying to build up Adesanya with him moving up. But we talked about this last week. I'm not a fan of it. I would rather see them.
We can do after. We can do after. Let the guy have his opportunities.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, I'm with you there for sure. And also, we mentioned this last week, the virtual run walk. Want to remind people here again, I'll go over everything, all the information again, like last week. So you can compete in the virtual run walk from November 23rd to November 30th. You will be running it, Chris, on November 26th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Participants will receive an autographed certificate of completion by you in the mail. And it's good to just get people out to walk. And like I mentioned there, it's a run walk. So you don't have to run. You can walk. The main thing is participating. And I know this is something you're very much a believer in, not only in giving back, but also getting people to exercise, right, Chris? You're very big on that.
Yeah, it's very cool. I think it's the time of the COVID time. Everybody had to stay home, locked out. I think we think about maybe sometimes when I want to stay home, I can go walk in the park and just to go over there and participate in the race. We're gonna help the people, missionary, my friend in Portugal. But I think the most special thing you give back what you have your blast and share, and share with your friend. And you're going to feel great after. For sure, you're going to feel great after because, just after run or after walk or after ride a bike, but because you're going to do something good, help the community.
We got another Bellator card this weekend, or not this weekend, on Thursday, I should say. I got to get in the habit of that, by the way, saying. Yeah, Thursday night. I know. I got to get in the habit of saying that. It's funny there. But Bellator 252. Patricio Pitbull is one of my favorite fighters, and bias aside, he's a double champ, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he's got a really tough fight coming up against Pedro Carvalho for his featherweight title. What do you think of this matchup? Because Carvalho, an up and comer, comes from Conor McGregor's gym at SBG Ireland, has a lot of confidence, but Pitbull, he's a double champ for a reason. He's one of the best in the world. What are you expecting in this fight?
We are Team Pitbull. He's Brazilian. He's a great fighter. Great person. I will team him, and I know he's going to do great to get the victory. He's the guy who's go up, down the division and fighting, and scary, and I'm really happy, and I know he's going to be great this fight. I believe in him.
Yeah, I think, I'm not getting too far ahead of myself here, but I think if Pitbull wins this fight, I think eventually we're going to see him and AJ McKee at some point. I think that's the fight everyone wants to see, with McKee being undefeated and with Pitbull obviously doing so well. It's there's a lot going on in Bellator right now. This is, again, a great fight you don't want to miss. Thursday night, CBS Sports Net, don't want to miss that one. All right. Some other stuff in the news, and I told you it was a busy week, Chris. We got rumors this week, something we don't have too often. Claressa Shields is I'm hearing some rumors that she's going to be headlining the first Zuffa Boxing event the night before Amanda Nunes was slated to fight Megan Anderson, and the fight's going to be on apparently on UFC Fight Pass on December 11th. What are you hearing? Because you're a little bit more in tune with this stuff than I am.
For me, I'm really happy to see the Zuffa Boxing doing support Claressa Shields. She's a big name, she's fighting a long time, and I know she's going to represent the women's box very well. And I'm very happy now she's had the opportunity to fighting. I know it's all this thing is the pandemic thing, COVID, and I have the opportunity to fight. And I see Zuffa doing MMA. Zuffa going to do the boxing fight, and it's very nice. I know she's going to do great. I don't know who's her opponent, but I don't know too much her, but I know she's going to be ready for to do the nice fight for everyone.
Yeah, she's taking on, supposedly, the rumor is the IBF champion, Marie Dicaire. I hope I'm saying that right. But either way, a really tough opponent. And it's just interesting that, we've been hearing about Zuffa Boxing for years, I think since the Mayweather fight with McGregor. So we'll see if it actually comes to fruition. When there's smoke, there's fire. We'll see what happens. But what are your thoughts, though, on Dana White getting involved in women's boxing? Because we knew that he was interested in boxing, but specifically women's boxing. I think it's interesting.
If you see, I think it's going to be good. If it's going to help grow the women's box, it's going to be great. I don't know what's the idea. The Claressa Shields maybe after to go to MMA. And I told her, man, I'm open for we train together and help her learn everything she would like to learn. And for sure, if I do unbox, we're going to be training together too. I think this is a nice thing to help each other. And it's nice that the Zuffa behind the women's boxing, give it the opportunity for them, for they can continue fight, maybe continue build more division, more girls come to the sport.
I agree. I think it's great. The more spotlight, the better. And, hopefully we'll see if this comes to fruition. But like I said, when there's smoke, there's fire. So we'll see what happens with that fight.
Yes.
Some unfortunate news. One of the MMA pioneers, one of the legends, I don't know if people have heard, Mark Coleman, had a heart attack. He actually went to the hospital by himself, which kudos to Mark. Great guy. I've had the opportunity to meet him a few times. I know he's someone you really were near and dear to when you first started following the sport and getting into the sport. What was your reaction when you heard the news about Mark Coleman, one of the legends of Pride, for sure?
It's very sad. It's very sad to see this. I think, I'm from Chute Boxed, and Mark Coleman then went and he fought Shogun, and he's hurt his elbow, and everybody in Chute Boxed go jump inside the ring, and his team too. It was Pride time. And my colleague gave it to us a lot of happiness, a lot of good, great fights, nice wrestling. And it's sad. I think the last time he did one surgery too, and he's putting his trophy for people who get it collected. It's sad you see it like this. I think fans have to be behind him. If you young fighters, for sure the young fighters know who it is, because people like him build the MMA. Help to mixed martial arts growing, and a lot of people. I think you have to be supporting him and be behind him. And I'm going to continue pray for him, for he can heal him and be great soon.
Yeah, our condolences are I shouldn't say condolences, but speedy recovery to Mark Coleman. Obviously, dealing with a lot right now, and I'm glad you brought that up. Yes. One of the pioneers of the sport. So sending our best wishes to yes. Mark Coleman. Now, Mark was known for being a star in Pride, and one of the great things about being in Pride is soccer kicks, and that gets to my next thing that we do every week, the Portuguese saying of the week, which has to do with soccer, or as most people call it, football. So I'm going to say this week, for the saying of the week, I'm going to say, let's say I'm in Brazil. I want to go watch some sports. I would say soccer, but I know it's football. So how would I say that in Portuguese? If I was to say, let's go watch some football, how would I say that?
Vamos assistir.
Assistir.
Não, assistir.
Assistir. Okay.
Assistir futebol.
Yep. Football. Okay, see, I got the football part. That's good. Okay, so
vamos assistir futebol.
Vamos assistir futebol.
Yes, very good.
There we go.
Nice.
See, I'm getting better every week, Chris.
Everybody in Brazil love to watch football.
Yes. No, for sure. And I think it's such a huge sport. I don't think we realize how big it is over there as well. Good time to wrap up the show, but we will definitely plug everything that you got going on your website. Obviously, people got to follow me on Twitter, at Lynch on Sports. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, at Cris Cyborg. Give us a like, give us a subscription. But Chris, as I always do, I'll give you the last word here, and also want to mention the premium service on your website, $2.99 a month, 2 private Q&A chats a month. You get a martial arts instruction technique every Thursday, and you get a autographed photo as well. So I'll give you the last word here, just about the premium service.
I want to say thank you for everyone already with the Prime, member Prime, and it's very nice to be talked to every month together, and that they have the opportunity to be with my fans. They know who I am a little bit more, because it's different when you see inside the cage fighting, but when you see you have the connect with your fans, this is the idea for them to have the connect. It's $2.99 a month, but you can have some technical training every Thursday. We put it on my YouTube channel, and you receive emails, about the news, who's going to be my next fight. And, I'm very excited. We talk, we play. I give the opportunity for them to talk to me, asking questions and we're building a big family. And I'm very happy to be part, and they have a lot of people with my Prime members.